Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me in one of the most heavenly places you will ever see. This is the Ferrari lawn at the 2019 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, and surrounding me here we have quite literally over $1 billion of Ferraris. Some of their most special cars that have ever been made, some of the absolute rarest. We are talking 2 Ferrari 250 GTOs, there are 3 Testa Rossas, there are challenge cars, race winners, some Formula 1 cars. There are all the road cars, the current lineup of the modern Ferraris, the SF90 Stradale and the F8 Tributo. We've also got some special projects, the likes of the P80C, there's the FXX K Evo, there are even one of only the 3 F50 GTs in the world. This lineup is unreal. I'm going to do my best now though to show you around and take in the absolutely astonishing display here with Ferrari at Pebble Beach. This year, Ferrari is celebrating 90 years of Scuderia Ferrari, the racing, Scuderia Italian for racing, the race team, hence the new SF90 Stradale. But just feast your eyes on this small part of the display behind me at the moment, and we're going to go through things very quickly to take it all in before coming back in more detail. But here you have a pair of 250 GTOs, and this car, by the way, sold for $70 million. Assume they're both worth about that, and we're off to a pretty strong start. Next to them, the 250 Testa Rossa, one of 3 that are on the lawn here, and again, that's probably $25 million a piece. We are looking at some incredible history here from Ferrari. Spinning round, we've got some of the race cars, the F40 GT that's come over from the UK, a variety of the different Challenge GT3 race cars. That is the F50 GT, one of only 3, as I said, a car that is immensely cool. I'm going to come back to that in more detail later on as well. Some more of the GT3 cars. Over this side as well, you'll spot Formula 1 car just behind. Coming through here, around the crowd, we've got the FXX K, of course the more recent track car, not a race series car per se. Coming through, there's the P80C, the car that I rode in actually at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, but displayed now in its other trim, the concourse trim. Coming through, just look at this. We are taking in the absolutely creme de la creme of Ferrari's history here. These cars are just unbelievable. Everything we're looking at. There's a 330 LM, the Daytona Competizione. You can see a trio of Formula 1 cars here. The 2010 car over towards the right. If I keep wandering through, we've got 2 Testa Rossas just over there that you can see. And then down this way, you have the modern lineup. But honestly, this line, all of these cars, it's jaw-dropping. If you have any idea what we're looking at here, these things, so many priceless cars, and I'm not joking when I say it's $1 billion. You're not hearing me wrong, not a million, $1 billion, over $1 billion. I mean, even just the Testa Rossas and the 250 GTOs together, we're already into a couple of $100 million. And that really makes these modern cars look almost, well, a little bit toy-like in comparison. I am going to come through though, because alongside me here we have the new SF90 Stradale. This is, of course, Ferrari's new hybrid, named after Scuderia Ferrari 90, Stradale being the word for road. This is the road-going car, 1,000 horsepower. And I have to say, in yellow, it looks awesome. I love this thing. The electric motors assisting at the front, a new digital dashboard, new controls inside, fully updated vehicle, and actually coming in at a price tag that really surprised me. In the UK, it's around £400,000, which for the performance that this offers is mind-blowing. It's a distinct design around the front. You've got the mid-engine V8, twin-turbo V8 going on behind, but look at this, absolutely stunning car, the SF90. It's just been launched. I can't wait to get behind the wheel of one of those. Really, really cool thing. Coming down beyond though, here we've got the lineup, the main lineup. Firstly in front of us, the 812 Superfast, naturally aspirated V12 up front, 800 horsepower, named 812 actually because 800 horsepower, V12, 812. This car in Giallo Triplo Strato, the triple layer yellow paint, looks fantastic. Alongside it here, we've got the Pista Pelotti, the Pelotti edition that you can see with the livery over the car was done to celebrate Ferrari's racing success with the 488 GT3, available only to Ferrari race drivers. You can have it in a number of different configurations, I think red, blue, silver, a couple of different colours, all with this unique livery to match up with the race car. Next to that, we've got the F8 Tributo. Of course, this is the current series production V8 supercar from Ferrari. At the moment, just a coupe, but expecting the Spider to follow on later on. But the F8 Tributo, just updating things, and named, by the way, Tributo, to pay tribute to its engine. The V8, the 3.9 twin-turbo V8 that received a lot of awards in the 488 GTB, and also the variants used in the Portofino and the likes, paying tribute then with this car to that. Alongside it, we've got a GTC4 Lusso V12, of course also available with the twin-turbo V8, and then we've got the Portofino at the end of the line, currently parked roof down. So these are the modern cars. This is a pretty cool lineup in its own right, but these things, in terms of price points, compared to some of the more classic stuff that we're going to be looking at in a second, are in a, well, a very different league. This is not the same by any stretch of the imagination. This car actually has a few tailor-made touches. Notice the Italian flag stripe that it's got back there, and also around the side. Very, very cool details. The painted Scuderia shields, normally that would be a badge on the side, as opposed to painted and under the lacquer, but that is looking really nice. This, though, stands out from a long way away to me, the SF90 Stradale. I'm really excited about this car. It has an active spoiler in this gap, so you can see how it's open. It allows airflow to come through. That can actively close when required to help with extra downforce. The car has a lot of other trickery to it that hopefully I'm going to be learning about when I do get an opportunity to take one out and see what it's like out on the roads. So I hope you're getting a small sense then for what today is about. The Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, one of the greatest events in the world, here as part of Car Week in Monterey, California. And then you just have this. All the flags telling us the 90-year celebration. I mean, we're walking around Testa Rossa's here. This car looks really cool. Of course, these are cars that are iconic from Ferrari. And this pair, we're looking at $50 million between those two cars alone. So we've got a 335 Sport alongside that. Which way do we head? Should we check out the Formula 1 cars? We've got a 2010 F1 car just here. Coming past, we've got a few slightly older cars, 1987, 1994. Fortunately, everything's actually labelled, so I've got a good idea of what we're looking at. This is a 365 Daytona GTP4 Competizione. Look at that though, with the wider arches, stripped out interior. Next to that, 275 GTB Competizione. 275, the previous car back in the 60s, race version of a 275 GTB. Again, a crazy thing, front engine V12. This, well, looks a little GTO-esque, but it's a 330 LM. But the GTO had those distinctive three openings up at the front. Next to that, well, that's quite cool, with the yellow lipstick around the front grille, the 250 GT Berlinetta. There are so many. This is a 250 GT, so with the painted stripes. This lineup, honestly, 750 Monza, of course, the Monza, you'll know the SP1 and SP2 Monzas, the first of Ferrari's Icona series, the cars that are paying tribute to some of the cars from their history, in this case, the 750 Monza, or the 250 Monza as well, various different generations. This, alongside it, the 250 Monza, actually, the Monza being this kind of format and style of car. Honestly, this is really something. What are we looking at here? The 166 mm, of course, going way back, the 1950s, 1953. Then we've got, I saw this car driving the other day, a 250 Millimeter, 1953. Honestly, this is quite nice, actually. What are we looking at here? 212 Inter. I'm not sure I've seen one of those before myself. We have next, we're way back, 1950s, 212 Export. This car, currently open, being looked at, means I can't actually see what it is right at this second. It is a 340 America. Then we've got an Alfa Tipo B. This is quite cool, Alfa Romeo. But Scuderia Ferrari, Tipo B, 1934. Coming around onwards, this list just goes on and on. 250 GT Berlinetta. What are we looking at here? This is cool. Little blue with the red interior. 500 Mondial, just to show you what's behind me. 166 Intersport Corsa, 166 MM, 340 America. And we've got that lineup we were looking at before. Coming up this way, 500 TR, 500 TR for Testa Rossa, 412S. Of course, all of these cars racing back at the time, preserved, many of them immaculate now. 500 TRC. And many still wearing their racing numbers. 250 GT Berlinetta, 250 GT Berlinetta, and then look at this with the light blue with the burgundy stripe on that one as well. What an astonishing lineup. Something just starting up, I think we can hear over that away. I'm going to walk you around this bit of lineup too. The 355 Challenge car, that sounds cool. The 360 Challenge car, the 458 Challenge car, and then great to come over to this side. In fact, let me, well, that's going on behind us and presumably about to be making a little bit of noise as well. Let me come and show you two cars that I missed on my way past, just here in front of the Ferrari hospitality unit, where inside there is actually an FXX K Evo. You can see the evolution, the new wing that car has back on the stage. The 340 America just there. I feel like I've seen that car before as well. And then behind it, the Alfa Romeo 8C 2300 Monza, 1933. Again, painted Scuderia Ferrari shields. This though, like I said, the P80C. This was the 38th of Ferrari's special projects, the bespoke one-off commissions, where customers are invited to have the opportunity to create their own car. This was the first one based off one of their race cars, the 488 GT3. So it actually has two different configurations. This is the concours specification with the large 21-inch wheels and no wing at the rear. As I experienced the car and inside, it's a fully stripped out GT3, as it was at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. It was running on 18-inch wheels, of course racing rubber, and then at the back it had the fixed wing mounted. You can just about see where the mounting brackets are placed. Look at that, there's a GT3 car that currently looks like this, in a road almost specification. Magical, magical thing. Up this way, we've actually got another F1 car, so we've got the 458 GTE. Behind it, we have, oh, got to do a year check to work out exactly what we're looking at. 1997. That sounds epic. 512 BB-LM. Of course, we've got the FXX K with its 1,000 odd horsepower from the hybrid V12, the track version of the LaFerrari. 512 BB has attracted quite a crowd. Actually, there are two of them, and then we get a 288 GTO Evoluzione. This is cool as well, the race version of a 288 GTO. I think there are only a handful of those around. One epic thing. Then we've got a 360 GT. We get to the F40 GT. Honestly, oh, I can't wait to get over to that F50. Just over there. We don't have all of the road cars like the F40, the F50, the Enzo, etc. These are mostly race cars. Scuderia Ferrari, after all the 90 years of the race team. But the 360 GT, and we've got the F430 GTC, then we've got the F430 GTC as well, and then beyond it we have the 458 GT3 Grand Am. This lineup, the 312 PB, 512M, 275P, and then these two, the two 250 GTOs from the 60s. There were only 30 something of these ever made in total. Love that, wearing the British number plate out here, of course. This one belongs to the owner of WeatherTech. It was bought quite publicly, private sale as opposed to an auction, but $70 million for this car. $70 million sat right here. Unreal. Perfect number plate for it as well. 250 GTO. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let me continue around. Let's come through then and check out this F50 GT just over this way, beelining straight towards it. It is one of the favourites when it comes to, I think, these kind of cars. The noise that this makes is astonishing. This is chassis number one. It says chassis number one. But I mean, look at it, based on the F50, the extension to the front splitter sitting lower, new wheels come around towards the rear. Look at the wing mount. Of course, the F50 had that bodywork integrated mount, but this has a much taller, centrally mounted wing at the back, spoiler, and the roof snorkel as well, the covered up rear deck. But you look through, especially with the sunlight right now, it's basically empty inside, just lightweight carbon fibre bodywork, looking epic here on the lawn. We've still got a few more cars to take in, just to swing round. The 458 GT3, then we've got the 488 GTE, and then we've got a 488 GT3 as well, just to confuse everything. I think this car has been a race winner too, if I'm not mistaken, that exact one. We've got the F33 SP, and back to the 348 Challenge. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour. You can tell I'm out of breath. I'm mostly out of breath out of fascination from this, to be honest. I've tried to do my best to show you all around. I want to go back to the SF90, but what? This is so crazy. You don't see a lineup like this. You just don't. This is something to remember. I can't believe I didn't know it was actually all here earlier, to be honest. And then back with this, like I said, a series production Ferrari, actually, not a limited edition in terms of the number they're going to build. Ferrari's first series hybrid, I think the first of many to come in the future, but a car that really appeals to me. I'm not gonna lie, this is something I would love to get my hands on, potentially. That is something I'm definitely thinking about. When you think about what this offers and the price tag that it comes in at, and I really like how it looks as well. I think it's distinctive, but it's probably, at least it comes across before driving it, as a very usable version of a car that offers this much power. If you think about it, 1,000 horsepower is insane. 200 horsepower more than a Senna, for example. That's a big, big, big number. It's fun how they give the chassis number, but the 2019 SF90 Stradale, anyway, something like that at £400,000 represents a very small proportion of this entire lawn at Pebble Beach. In fact, it's almost minuscule and could be forgotten. It's crazy. This event is filled with incredible cars. There are actually customer cars out the other side where you have LaFerrari Aperta, TDF, 599 GTO, and plenty more. But just to be here and to be in the presence of all of these great Ferraris and to be able to take a look around them all is special. It's very, very, very special.
Heads up. Okay, watch yourself.
They go electrically. It's rollout time. Look at that sight. In fact, lots of the cars are now running. 250 GTO bubbling away behind me here. In fact, the two of them are going out. Lots of the cars. We'll get a few quick clips before they've all gone. I mean, how often do you get to hear and see a car of this value and beauty on the move? Look at this. Just that's a Ferrari 250 GTO. What a thing. And it's now departing from Pebble Beach in style. Wow, that's loud. Really loud. That's one of the loudest cars I've heard. And now listen to the sounds. Cars slowly getting ready to head on out, but all of these, of course, about to head off. We've got the 288 GTO Competizione now. Evoluzione 288. What a bonus then to see and hear some of the cars departing. Of course, the SF90 Stradale departed in electric mode silently. You can hear some of them out on the roads heading towards the transporters to take the various cars home. This lineup though is just beyond words. The most stunning display of Ferraris from all eras, 1930s, 40s, 50s, Formula One cars, classic cars, race cars, Scuderia Ferrari, 90 years old, and this display, what a way to do it. Yeah, I'm a bit speechless, to be honest, at taking it all in. This has been incredible, so thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your support as always, guys. That's it for now though. This is insane, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.